Do not attempt to adjust your podcast player. We are controlling the transmission. We are here to be your guide, helping you to explore local events, the art scene, music, theater, sports, and possibly a conspiracy or two. All here on the GCRX Radio and Podcast Network.
Good evening, good Monday. This is your weekly dose. Brian with a Y, your favorite guy. The reason that Mondays are amazing. Let's not even worry about the fact that Monday Night Raw is on right now on Netflix. No, they didn't plug us. They didn't tell us anything about it. We're not, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's on. I'm a huge wrestling fan anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, understand, I do this for you guys. Okay. It's so much fun. So much fun.
What the hell voice was that?
I don't know. It was a mix of like Santino Marella and I don't know what the other voice was supposed to be. So yeah.
We're all confusion.
Listen, I said this yesterday in church. Brian, do you ever think about what you're saying? No. I want to be as surprised as you guys. That's
I understand you.
Pretty
Brian.
on brand for
it's
you.
Why my wife says I'm an HR nightmare.
Listen, I once had a couple trips to HR because they wanted to hear the joke that I told in real time. Like that's how that went.
We want to see how funny it is.
Oh yeah. And I'm telling you, it was a laughable situation, but you the write-ups came afterwards. like Brian, that's really good, but you really just can't say that. I was like, what do you mean can't? Obviously, I moved my mouth, air left my body, and words were said.
May I one-up you?
Yes.
I was involved in an HR nightmare where she was telling us we were getting ready to go to Phoenix on a trip, and I was the senior manager in charge of everybody on this trip.
Oh, dear.
And she told us all in email. She told us all in email, with the president and the CFO involved in this email, that you are not allowed to put any types of movies or cigarettes or alcohol on your expense report. I replied all with, what about hookers and blow?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
She replied, Seth, do I need to send a chaperone?
I am the chaperone.
I replied all. Are they paying for the hookers and blow?
Oh my gosh.
Not even 5 minutes in. And
folks.
Yeah.
Please give a warm welcome to our guests tonight. Guest co-host. You've seen her before. You've heard her voice. She's awesome, amazing, and fantastic, much like you folks. It is Miss Ashley Buckles. Yay! Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you.
And our special guest for the evening. I've known this guy probably like 6 years. And
okay,
I'll be honest with you, I'm a little surprised that it's been that long. Like, we have Dungeon Master Extraordinaire, Seth Arnold. How are you, buddy?
Dude, I am so awesome.
Yes, you are.
I am beyond blessed. I really am beyond blessed. It's funny when you said Brian with a Y, because that is literally how you were saved in my phone.
Yeah.
Still to this day, Brian with a Y.
Everyone in St. Louis knows me as Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y.
Your favorite guy. That's just how that goes. And in a couple of months after I pass all the certifications, it'll be Brian with a Y, the finance guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right. So how was your weekend, guys? What'd you do?
I worked.
You worked?
I did.
All weekend? Anything gory?
No, surprisingly. Everybody's sick.
Really?
What kind of nurse are you?
I'm
ER?
an emergency room nurse, yeah.
Is yours an ER or an ED?
ED?
It's an ED.
Dysfunction?
No, it's an...
Yes!
Can I say that?
That is...
It doesn't matter. I've already said it.
I don't understand why so many hospitals are choosing
I work at Touche. I don't know if you're familiar.
No. Why are we going with ED? It's an ER
Well,
What does
emergency
D mean?
department,
No,
right?
no.
Who decided this?
You know what? This is a studio department.
Because it's more than just
so
a
this
room.
is an
That's
STD
right.
studio department.
No, that's got to be it. Some hospital person was like, well, you know, the emergency department is more than just a room.
We matter too.
Right. Is it just
Because
a
you
one
can't say
room?
emergency unit because
Right.
apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I heard about this kid who
No, no,
found
no.
his mom's emergency unit.
Oh God.
That's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
There it is.
There it is.
But it can be called an ED.
No, the emergency unit
no,
is
no,
in place of ED.
No, if we can't
Brian,
call it an
stop.
emergency
No,
HR.
what?
The
I am
problem
the
is
HR.
The
we don't have
emergency-
HR.
And
The
that is the
emergency unit is
problem.
in place of the ED.
I feel
Or
like
is my brain just like a 13-year-old?
this
teenager
is
boy.
how.
Oh my
every-
gosh, I just caught that.
Get it?
Ah! Yes.
I feel like this is how every company figures out they need an HR department.
Great, Brian.
So
So what's
Yeah, no.
wonderful is Dee Dee is in the studio.
He
She's
swears.
in the back and she's watching the show, and she is very much like, oh no,
Jeez,
oh
jeez,
oh
no.
no. Like,
No, it's funny that you go like that because one of my mods recently started on my Twitch, started a palm, what's she call
face
it?
palm.
Facebook.
Face palm counter. For how many times I go like this during the show.
By the way, what is a dusk elf?
It's something from Curse of Strahd.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
It's very much like it's almost a combination between a Shatter Kai, a shadow elf, and a drow. It's almost in between.
Huh.
There's a reason why no one's ever heard of them though, because in Curse of Strahd, Strahd himself committed genocide by unaliving every single female dusk elf, no matter how old she was.
Wow.
He's a bad dude. He's evil.
Clearly.
He's a
And I
monster.
think that's probably where my nephew got the idea. We're going to get into some Dungeons and Dragons.
What's with the long stare at?
I don't know. It seemed appropriate. We don't even have like, hey, let's do some sound effects. It was just a blank, weird
Long.
Low budget show,
Yeah.
folks.
stare.
Low budget show.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, if we had a sponsor, we might have some-
Listen.
How long
How
have you been saying gonna do it?
How long?
You won't.
how
No.
long?
Emos
You
is
won't.
the worst pizza
You
ever.
won't. No balls.
And they won't sponsor
No
us.
balls.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, sure.
TTRPG swag. Right? Go to them. Check them out. I have shirts on there. You, Brian, get a hold of them. Mention my name. And you could make your own designs, and he will start selling shirts for you, and you will get 50% of the profit.
I like that idea. I don't want the profit though. Doesn't mean I'm
You
not
don't
going to take it. I definitely will. Use it to help support the channel.
There you go. put it right back into the station.
Absolutely.
You know?
Let me see. We have D&D this coming Saturday.
Is it this Saturday?
It's this Saturday the 1st.
oh my god.
Because I'm not going to be there though, which is
Loser.
unfortunate because
Why you try to get Ashley to show up then?
because it's going to be fun.
I'm sorry. I'm out saving lives on Saturdays. So
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
It's just so important. I wish I had that level of moxie during the last portion of the campaign. I've spoken about this on the channel before.
You did not.
My goofy behind decided, you know what? I'm going to try to talk to this sociopath with a bloodlust. And you know what? He proved me right. No, he proved me wrong. I thought, the power of friendship, like everybody's got a little bit of good in this in their. Yeah, I wish you would cut to him as he was laughing and sipping out of the Darth Vader mug.
that was like
That
so
was-
evil.
It was so
All
evil.
he needed was this.
He's like 2 PhDs away from being a supervillain right now. Like, but anyway, so I decided, I'm going to try to talk to this guy because I'm a bard and I went to the College of Eloquence and I can sway just about anybody.
Yeah.
I roll a 19 and can't sway this guy.
Who is he?
I don't even remember his name.
Okay. What
But-
campaign? Homebrew?
It's homebrew, yeah.
Okay.
So he says, I'll be right back. And he walks into the next room and we continue our battle. And when we finally finish the battle and walk into that next room, this dude has murdered 60% of the civilians in that room. And they were all under the age of 12.
I'm here for that.
Like, I sat there for the rest of the campaign just like this.
Brian tried his democracy, and democracy failed.
Democracy failed. Absolutely. I was like, I gotta kill him. Like, I gotta finish him. There's no way this dude gets
For
to make
those
it to
who
the...
don't know, like we're just talking about D&D.
Yes,
right?
we're
Like,
only talking about Dungeons and Dragons
Yes, that is the disclaimer that we
Right.
must always
for
say.
legal reasons.
for legal
Yes.
reasons.
Yes.
Brian's not actually killing anybody.
And it's like, oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Knock on the table. Yeah, we had that. Like, knock on
So I had to kill him.
man.
What?
the-
What?
Oh, speaking of which,
Huh.
there was a guy who he was playing Call of Duty
Mhm.
and he was going in about
Oh,
you heard about that?
this.
Yes, he's like, the police knock on his door and they're all like super aggressive and who come out with it. And he's
They
like,
showed up like 6 deep.
yeah, 6 squad cars, 2 officers each, all holding weapons, and it was like he was like, dude,
Red
like
dots and all.
he accidentally
What?
somehow he accidentally dialed like 911 and
While he was in his
While he
Call of
was-
Duty
while he was
game.
playing Call of Duty, and they heard him talking about how he was offing
Killing.
these guys, and they showed up at his house and they were like, yo,
Bro.
we're coming in. And he was like, no, I'm playing Call of Duty. So they sweep the house and it's on his Ring camera. He uploaded it. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, that was
How?
awesome, man. That was awesome. Let me tell you an awesome villainy that just recently happened.
Yes,
Um,
I'm here for it.
So, first of all, I'm a psychopath. I
Nice.
am running 6 Curse of Strahd campaigns
Simultaneously?
Simultaneously.
How many in each campaign?
Roughly 6 to 7 people in each. I have over 35 players, man. Yeah, I'm a psychopath. So yeah. 5 nights a week.
Oh, wow.
Sunday night through Thursday night. In
Busy
fact,
guy.
there's a group tonight that I told them 2 weeks ago I'm not going to be here. And they should be listening right now. If not, I'm killing off their characters. So make sure you put in Discord if you're listening right now Monday night. So
we need
I'm
to
in your Discord.
and we're time stamping this 7/28. So anyway, it was the Monday night group 2-3 weeks ago that one of them got a little lippy with Strahd von Zarovich himself.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. And at the very end of the session, he, after going on his own little monologue, he told Strahd, I will make you suffer.
Wow.
He didn't want to kill Strahd. He wanted to make Strahd suffer. And I said,
That is a really bad idea.
yes, in my Strahd voice, which my Strahd voice is very similar to this. And while
Okay.
I said, roll initiative.
Oh, jeez.
Because I couldn't even pull back out of character.
Right.
And that's how we're going to end this episode. That's what I said to them.
Oh,
So they had a week to think about what was about to happen.
yeah.
So we come back a week later, right? One of them is wearing their shirt that says, please don't kill us. I'm wearing my shirt that you can get off that website that I already said. I'm not going to plug them anymore.
Okay.
That the shirt I designed it's what the BBEG would do. Because so many people say it's what my character would do.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? It's what the BBEG would do. Okay. So we start combat with Strahd asking that man who spoke ill,
Mm-hmm.
which of your party members do you like least?
Wow. Okay.
And then he proceeded to list off each one of them. And do you like this one least? No, you're kind of in love with her. I killed your wife a few weeks ago. You're probably in love with this one now, and just went through, right? And
pulled
got
a
down to the
Negan.
final 2. Oh yeah, he sent, yes. the wife was unalived. Okay. So
Why am I giggling like a little girl?
It's finally decided, it's that one whose name is Gildorn. He's a half-orc barbarian, right?
Oh, unfortunate bastard.
So Strahd hits the other 4 with chain lightning. Doesn't even touch Gildorn.
Wow. I'm going to leave you with the one who you don't like.
Okay. Then makes him come forward, the druid who mouthed off, makes him, his name is Sahar, makes Sahar come forward, who's in bear form, and says, bow, take a knee. So he takes a knee, to apologize and everything else. He goes, no, I want you in human form. You don't get to be in bear form, human form. Basically, waste a wild shape. I want you in human form. Okay? He apologizes, right? He gets up, he starts walking away. Oh, did you think the lesson was over?
No.
Okay.
You don't know.
Hits them all with a fireball.
So who survived it?
They all did barely. I mean, several of them dropped, but they're like, aiding each other and adding medicine and everything else. And he's like, he looks at Gildorn, the one who just got hit with a fireball, didn't get hit with lightning. He goes, you look mad. Do you want to attack me? I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to, but I'm not going to attack you anymore. But if you come at me, although I would understand, I'm going to attack you. He's like, I know I'm not going to come at you. And he's like, okay, the lesson is over for now.
For now.
And he leaves. Okay? Well, we cut over to one of the other characters who was not with the group. She actually is a shifter, and she was trying to get back to the group before it all went down. She couldn't because of one thing or another, right? She gets back to their house where they're living. Okay? And as she walks in, it is a horrible, horrible, bloody scene because they had rescued some children. They had rescued some dogs, who were no longer rescued. And I don't want to go into gory detail for everyone, but the house was dead. Right? And there was the 2 dogs.
Brian's face.
The 2 dogs were named Valor and Vigil. Okay? Valor's head is on the post of the stairs. Okay? With a note in his mouth. She walks over and she takes the note out and she reads the note. And the note basically said, you need to remember, I am Strahd von Zarovich. This is my land. These are my buildings. I own everything, everyone, and I can do whatever I want when I want.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing you can do about it. If you, however, have decided that you're done with your foolish pursuits and you would all like to go home, I invite you to my house for dinner. We will have a quiet vigil.
Just the head was left
of Valor. The other dog's name is Vigil.
Right. So if I'm catching this properly, if just the head was left, where's the rest of the body? We're going to have a vigil. General So's chicken?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Wow.
Strahd likes Chinese.
These are jokes? Nobody's eating dogs. Nobody's eating cats.
They're all eating dogs and cats.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. People are saying.
Oh, wow.
That's evil.
That's epic.
He is an evil man.
I really hope my nephew is not watching this because he's going to get ideas. And that's like the last thing that So do you want to play?
Sounds great.
But I got to work.
Sorry, I'm sick that day. It's weird.
What?
There's also are you reading the Fourth Wing or whatever it is?
Onyx
So
Storm.
I'm in NP school right now, so I don't have a lot of free time to read.
So anytime she shows up, we're so happy that she's here.
I got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense now. I wondered why there was a red carpet laid out.
Yes.
Well, I did that.
Little tiara. I was curious why you had a tiara on, although it's on video. So
I took it off because the lights make it shine a little too bright.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Makes sense.
That is fantastic.
Now you know why I chose Darth Vader.
Oh, wow. What you drinking there?
Coffee the way I like my women.
Is it sweet enough?
It is pretty sweet. Is there no
Nice.
sugar in this?
No.
Okay.
I saw him
okay.
put
Dude,
his
did you-
finger in it and
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought it was pretty sweet.
So it tastes like piss.
I'm sorry you didn't cut to him. He did
Almost.
a spit take.
Almost.
Oh, wow.
There's some good tasting urine there, Brian. Brian with a Y. Good tasting urine.
just the right amount of diabetes in there.
Oh yeah.
The sugars.
The
Oh
sugars,
yeah.
the sugar diabetes.
Oh. Oh. All right. Okay. I got to tell you, I enjoy doing this show so much. I've referenced it many times before. It's like I get to hang out with my friends and there's a camera rolling and well, there are like multiple cameras. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
4. Cool. Yeah. So there are a bunch of cameras rolling and we're just having a great conversation and I just get to hang out with my friends and it's so much fun.
And we just
That's
develop all of these like inside jokes, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
That's,
like,
how I put-
everybody
that's
else-
how we feel about playing D&D. It's the
I see
same thing
that,
without
yeah.
the cameras.
Well, you do yours on Twitch.
Yes.
And that's where I was watching them and I was like, oh, like who was it who I think it was the Narnia?
The
Where-
Narnia one shot.
The Narnia one shot
That was
where
this past Saturday.
somebody like took out the horse. Like she rolled a nat 20 and aimed for the guy's horse. And I was like,
Oh no, that was last night's episode that took out the horse.
wow. I guess the
Yeah.
dude was like riding around like aggressively, like, and it was like, we
Wait,
can't
what?
hit him.
Can you do that one more time? Like with feeling.
Yep, you were on camera for that.
Yep.
huh?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. I just really wanted to make sure I
There is historical
understood.
record of your writing.
Lock that in.
Yeah. Core memory.
Yeah, there you go.
Just now.
In any case, so the guy was like riding on a horse and they couldn't hit him. So
Took out the
they
horse.
took out the horse. They take out the horse with a nat 20, like just rolled
Yes.
a d20, hit a 20. It's like, yeah, that horse is not getting up for a while, if at all. Like I was genuinely impressed with the accuracy of the roll and of course the accuracy of the character and the damage done. I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Dude, my most of my players hate this 1d20 I have. It's called the purple 20. And it is literally a purple d20.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But they are convinced that it's loaded because I on
Low
average
numbers.
roll 5 to 6 d20s a night with that. But it's not loaded because the opposite side of a 20 is a 1 and I roll a couple ones every night. And the 19 is the opposite side also. And I roll some 19s on average every night.
So,
It's just a really hot die.
so you turn the magnet off under your table every once in a while. Okay.
Ocean's 11. Or was that 13?
Oh,
I
my
think that
bad,
was
sorry.
13.
Bill is on fire.
Those are the
tonight.
things
I don't
we
know.
do not
Oh, yeah.
tell the players. I was telling this one DM buddy of mine earlier today when he was talking about how, how we don't railroad players. We give them choices and load the choices. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do not admit that.
I did not railroad my players.
Oh my
You
word.
don't admit to that stuff.
No, you get too,
Then they know we manipulate them.
it's you gotta give it a shot.
Are
Like,
you wearing
gotta,
the fucking com badge again?
huh?
He is.
He
I
is.
saw it. I
What?
seen it.
This thing right here?
Oh, this old thing.
This thing? Oh yeah, it was just something it found its way to the shirt.
You
Just
should
so
have
you
put it
know,
up
if
closer
you
to
ever
your
lose
neck.
your day job, you should work at Starbucks.
I know he does really well. He's a connoisseur.
So just to kind of let everybody know, I make it a point if I can get here early enough. They beat me here today by a lot. He was here
Brian,
like an hour before.
Don't act like being late is not on brand for
Listen,
you.
listen.
who
First
you
of
are as a
all,
person.
listen.
You're gonna be late to
Linda.
your own
Brian with a Y, the latest guy.
funeral.
All of you are fired. Don't clap for him.
am I going to get fired on my day off?
I got to call.
You knew I was fired yesterday.
I got to
Make me
call
waste my gas.
my very first DM. He got fired on his day off. He said he was sick. He was like, "Oh, I got to take the day off," and he was trying to go somewhere else, but it was a Friday, so he walked into work to pick up his check. Like, Raphael, what the hell, dude? Like, what are you doing?
You had a DM named Raphael?
Yeah,
Dude, that's next tier.
isn't it though? Yeah,
That's awesome.
Tarkesis.
Man.
That did not go well.
Man.
Tarkesis is like the mother of dragons or something like that.
Yeah.
We that did not go well. Somebody tried to like woo her and they rolled and it went well. Like they seduced her successfully.
Yeah.
But she was the big spoon.
I'm so confused right now.
Yep.
This is D&D, baby.
I know, but I'm trying to follow. Then I was like,
You
I didn't
lost me there.
It is a wild ride.
I didn't take my Adderall, so like, so I'm like, yeah, this is a great story, and then I'm like, what did I do?
She
And then,
needs
like,
a
come
last
back.
time on D&D.
Like
a recap.
I need a recap.
Recap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And apparently there's episodes, so like I feel like I need a visual. I'm a visual learner. Learned her.
Learned her.
I'm a visual learned her. I have to see it and see it.
Oh my
got
gosh.
you. Got you. If you want to watch a really fun D&D campaign, Critical Role does a show on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And
All I
that
know,
show
guys,
is called
I'm doing my best.
The Legend of
Trying.
Vox Machina. And I want to say 15 years ago they did this campaign.
Dude, you were just talking about your son.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Watch it with him.
Yes.
Watch the.
No.
How old is he?
15.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Bro,
Sure.
the first episode. The very first
He's 15.
That is the problem. He's 15.
the very first episode, Scanlan.
You're pretending like a 15-year-old isn't watching things that they want to watch anyway.
No, don't talk about it. I don't want to hear it. My
Because
sweet
you
little
know
angel
it's
baby.
right.
Okay.
Oh, Drew.
But as his mother, you need to be able to watch his reaction
As his
during it
mother, I don't
to
wanna-
know. You need to know. Have you found a crusty sock in this room? yet?
Dude. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Emos is definitely not going to sponsor us now.
No, I mean because
No,
of the
because
cheese.
then they
Because
could
of
get they could
cheese.
play off of that and say, well, we have the thinnest crust.
No.
And the tastiest cheese.
Woo!
I
But
don't.
none of the famunda. So
I don't know. Teenagers' hygiene usually isn't.
oh
pretty
my
good.
gosh.
Oh.
Getting this you know what? It's probably embarrassing for me to like even talk. But I don't understand the concept of I'll just take a shower later. And then 6 days later,
Ugh.
you have like green fog coming off of you. And when I'm like, bro, you smell bad. And he's like, no, I don't smell it. You smell yourself first. What are you talking about?
People who live on a pig farm don't smell
Bro,
pig poop.
It's a true story.
I'm just really trying to earn my ticket to heaven.
Just listen. Sometimes you just gotta take
There
a
are
can of
some days-
Lysol and stab a hole in it and roll it into the room. That's what you got to do.
Just a can of Febreze. Just
Yep, exactly. Boom.
Oh, wait, do it again?
no.
No,
Ah.
Why you
come
gotta
on.
bring up the past? That's just so far.
ago.
That's the past, Brian.
Wow.
Yep.
I love when people say, I look younger in this picture. Of course you did. It's not like you're taking pictures in the future and then you get to see them now. Like, that's not a thing.
That's
Get
true.
out of here.
That's true. But that's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
What
What
we're
do you mean it's
talking
not?
I don't know.
It is completely the same. I missed my dose of Adderall. too.
Yes, you did.
My last dose of Adderall was 8 years ago.
If
I
you
feel like I need
didn't miss your
Adderall.
dose, you would have been here on time, probably.
And you were on camera for that. That's
Ooh, yes.
Why do you do this?
Excellent.
good. Excellent.
If I wasn't holding this mug, I would have done the Mr. Burns. Smithers.
Yes,
Release
yes,
the hounds.
Excellent.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness. I do enjoy watching people have their campaigns. There's on Grand, I think Avenue. I don't know. It's in South City. There's a comic book shop, and they've got like 15 players, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to bring."
What's that smell like when you walk into?
3.
Speaking of 15-year-old
Oh
boys,
my gosh.
I'll tell you,
It's not somewhere I want to be.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you that. And as a nurse, I've smelled some things.
Did you ever see the video of the woman who gave herself trench foot?
Yes,
what?
So
I watch weird stuff like that.
So this woman broke her ankle,
Mhm.
or her foot, some years before, and they put her in a cast, and then from the cast they put her in like an air cast, and she just never took it off
Oh,
for a couple of years.
Oh my God.
Forever.
Mhm.
Forever.
I'm assuming they take it off on the thing. And
Oh, yeah.
you get to
And
see
it
what-
is something special
Mhm.
because the
Did
one
they bring smelling salt?
the nurse has the doctor has her mask on. I think it was during COVID or just something.
She probably just had it on.
Yeah, just had it on. So she's got her N95 mask on, and you hear her like unwrap the Velcro, and it's like, oh, this is like fresh Velcro. Like, when you put like it
Mhm.
loses its efficiency
Yeah,
every once in a while.
yeah.
Yeah, she goes,
It's the first time it's ever been
first
removed.
time it's been
Right.
removed, and this woman's like middle toe is just over the big toe, and it is. They cut to her post visit, and she goes, I almost threw up like in my mouth. Like it was that bad. It was like,
Yeah.
think about really awful smelling cheese
Mm.
smelling more awful than that.
Heat
What's
it
that
up.
one fish that like stinks when you eat? Like open the can and you eat it.
Sardines,
No. One of
Not tuna.
my buddy. What did you just say?
tuna.
No. It is disgusting.
Brian's doing a Google search.
Yeah.
Smelliest canned fish.
Yes.
Brian, I really hope that there are G-rated things that come up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It
Search
is.
that.
One of my buddies had a can New Year's and was saving it. We were gonna open it.
Sturstroming.
That yes. That.
I've never even heard this.
You have to like stand back like 15 feet when you open
So
it.
open it
because smells
outside.
So, yeah. Because
Yeah.
it smells so horrible.
That's also like another grenade scenario. You just open it and throw it
Right.
and hope for the best.
Yeah. Why? Why would you want something that
I heard
smells-
Limburger.
Well, like Limburger cheese. Yeah.
I've
No, it's
never.
I
worse
feel
than
like
that.
you guys are on the same wavelength, and Bill and I.
I've never.
I mean, that's fine.
Smelled Limburger cheese, but I would.
My grandma used to eat it religiously.
My grandma used to also
On
eat like head
crackers.
cheese and
Isn't that
Braunschweiger. and,
No,
like,
so
Oh.
it's
Braunschweiger.
Yeah.
My mom eats
Oh.
Braunschweiger.
I've never even heard of that. Is that a
Really?
Caucasian thing?
Probably us
Why
white
is it
folks.
gotta-
Listen.
Why is it got to be a Caucasian thing?
Because you guys
it
love
doesn't have any
cheese,
seasoning.
wine, and cheese. Oh wow, it has no seasoning. She said.
I was about to start insulting him, but that's
Okay.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I did my ancestry DNA sidebar, and I'm like 1% Bantu people. So
1% what?
Bantu people, which is like in Africa. And one of the doctors that I work with, she is also like, her heritage is that, and she's like, oh yeah, like you're like, we're cousins. I was like, heck yeah. So
Distant.
Most of my employees
distant
call me
cousin.
white chocolate.
But that's accurate.
I just
Isn't it,
feel
though?
like me being translucent doesn't matter. So
It's a deficiency, right?
right,
Yeah.
melanin
Melon
deficiency.
deficiency. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw this woman. The EMT rolled into her house and was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "No, I'm really, really tired." And
Oh,
don't
She-
jump the gun. Don't jump the gun.
I do what I want.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm an out of control adult.
You're not my boss.
authority.
You're not my boss, my boyfriend, my husband, or my daddy.
And
We
there
talked
goes
about
the
that
show.
last week. If you're not
There
feeding me,
goes.
financing me,
Or being
Uh-huh.
being my friend.
Being fun.
so she's like, yeah, I feel really, really tired. And the AMT is like, okay, so like, have you had anything? Have you eaten anything? She's like, I'm trying to work on my tan. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, I take these melatonin.
Oh,
Melatonin.
Melatonin.
Well, I know what that is.
Yeah.
But...
And she's like consuming them 5 at a time.
no.
At 10 milligrams a piece. And she thinks that that's what's going to help her tan. Now the EMT, he's a black man, and he's like, I don't think that's how that works. She's like, it's what you have in your skin, and I'm just adding it to my body so that I can. And he's like, that's not how that works. She goes, well, you know what? I don't want to be helped by you anyway, because obviously you don't know what you're talking about.
Can we remove safety labels?
How else would I know to not stop the blade with my hands? Or that Quick Trip gasoline's not intended for aircraft engines.
Oh,
I mean, I need to know these things.
I just gave myself a minor headache. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate this so much.
Hey, side story. You
Uh-huh.
said tanning, and I don't think I've ever told this one. I picked up this Philips sun ray bulb. It's basically a high level UV bulb. It has some other spectrums in it too, but it does really good for a process called retrobrighting, where you use hydrogen peroxide and you take the yellow out of plastics, right? Well, Andrew was talking about it one day, and I'm like, yeah, they used to use these to tan with before they did tanning beds and stuff like that, but you have to be super careful with it because it's very directional. So I find him a few days later, and he has gotten one of my clamp lights that has a bulb socket in it, and he put it over the couch and is laying shirtless, and he's tanning with it. And I'm like, Andrew, buddy, that thing is less than 2 feet away from your back, and it's very directional. He's like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, it is not fine. And he's, oh no, it's fine. I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
This is one of those lessons you're just going to have to learn all on your own.
Yep. And about probably an hour later, he had the worst sunburn in one single spot on his back.
Oh.
And he's like, you were right. It burns.
Oh, that hurt him so bad. Much more than the sunburn to say you were
Yeah.
right.
How old is
He's 15 now.
Yeah.
So he's
that hurt.
15.
It really hurt to say.
He's an
Yeah.
all-American wrestler. His first year out.
Oh, yeah.
I
Kid
come
is
across videos and pictures of him from like just a couple of years ago, and he had like little chibi.
He's like a child.
Yeah, and now
Well, a
We
couple
said
years ago,
30.
he was a child.
yeah, and now
He still is a child.
He's ripped, dude. It's nuts.
but like
he's so good.
he'll walk
Really is.
he'll walk in with his friends, and they'll just all collectively take their shirts off.
That's what they do.
And I'm like, dude,
I'm like, why is my house the shirt? Stop. No, stop. And like they'll all come over.
They like
he's
walk
so
through the
sneaky
threshold
about
and
it,
it's
too.
Bruce Almighty. Like
He'll be like, can so and so stay the night? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine. You don't have school tomorrow, whatever. And then before I know it, there's like 6 of them in my living room playing
Yeah.
games,
Shirtless.
eating food,
shirtless.
most of the time,
shirtless
and
snacking.
wrestling each other. Like they move the ottoman out of the way and they're beating the crap out of each other, and
I'm
like
so
it's
glad I
rough.
had nothing but daughters.
Bro.
That's a hard thing too. For
I'm-
different reasons.
No.
He's like, it's easier.
4 girls.
Mm.
I am so thankful.
but
But,
he only
funny-
has the one boy, right?
Yeah,
The
he's
one
the
boy,
only
but
boy.
the one boy and his friends. So like he can't discipline the friends, right? You could discipline your daughters if they got rowdy, right?
Mhm.
Or Bill.
I still
You
threaten to
probably-
beat them.
Yeah, probably. I
I
retract.
just do it.
I
But the-
retract my statement.
The problem is, it's getting to the point where if they all were to gang up on me, I'm
It's
done.
game over.
That's
Like,
why you
I'll-
can't
No way.
allow them to see your fear.
I've already told him, I'm like, look, I'm old. I'll use weapons.
Don't make eye contact.
My youngest is 18. Just never allow them to know that you're actually scared.
Yo, I decided I was gonna, let's wrestle. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
no.
You remember this?
Yes.
On a couple
Hold
of
it.
occasions, I decided to wrestle his son, my
Really?
nephew, and I'm like, yeah,
Really?
let's go. You want to go? Let's go. Okay, let's go. Take my shirt off. Let's go. 38
How'd that work
seconds
out for
into
you?
it, I'm like, God, man, like-
kid, I'm like 265 on a good day. This kid can pick me up.
yeah, squat. No problem.
and grab me and throw me on the couch. I have not been thrown. But like I've not been picked up like a freaking baby. I'm like, this is awkward.
This is not okay. Yeah.
All because I'm like, you won't, you can't. He's like, watch me.
I got this.
Done.
I'm sorry, what?
Easy.
And from the couch, you're like, I'm still the boss of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to
Laying
say that
there
when you're
holding your
looking
lower-
up at somebody.
Holding your lower back.
As you're like getting up real slow,
When I
like
finally get up, you're in
Right.
trouble.
right.
So I think the funniest thing I've seen about that, it was the Royal Rumble. I don't even know. I'm heading to this week's Royal Rumble, this year's Royal Rumble in Indianapolis this weekend. But I'll be back for the show, so we're all good. But the Royal Rumble, John Cena and I want to say it was like Batista. The two of them are the last two in the ring, and they both go over the top rope at the exact same time. And the referees are like all 4 feet hit the ground at the same time. So one ref holds up John Cena's hand. The other ref holds up Batista's hand. Out comes the boss, Vince McMahon, and he's steaming mad. He takes his blazer off. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. Red in the face. He gets in the ring, tears his quad.
No.
Getting in the ring.
He gets 1 foot in the ring, tears his right quad. He's about to stand up on the left one, tears that one too. So now he is quadless, can't walk, and he is sitting on the bottom rope, screaming instructions at his employees like, you need to start it over.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, why is he sitting on the ground madder than
Man, these are really good theatrics.
yeah, like he's angry.
Yeah.
So they restart the match with the two of them, and it ends the way it's supposed to. And
Vince
he
just, like, army crawls.
refused help getting back
Mhm.
to the back, like to seek medical.
That is called pride. What?
Well, you
Weren't
know
you going to
what,
talk
like-
about that earlier?
Was I?
Yeah, you were going to talk about how you're the humblest.
But I am.
He is.
Yeah.
The most modest.
I was at Home Depot. I've told this story before. Don't check out because it's always fun. I was at Home Depot and running my mouth as per usual. And
That shocks me.
No.
a coworker, can't remember male or female, don't know, says, don't you ever quit talking. And I said, but why would I do that? I do it for you. I'm with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can hear my voice anytime that I want to, but you only get me for like 8 to 9 hours a day. Sometimes our days off don't overlap. So you're welcome. And this person looks at me and they're like, what?
I would have been fired for workplace violence immediately.
So then I hear a customer
Immediately.
who's with my buddy James, and we're both at the service desk. This customer looks at James and says, is he serious?
Yeah, he is.
And James goes, I'm pretty sure he is. Like, absolutely. Yeah, that's the humility that I walk with.
You're just so generous.
So generous.
Release the hounds.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm looking at our chat, and it is fun. This is great. Do you know somebody named Mins?
Mines. It's not really German, but it sounds funny when you say it like that.
Mines.
Sieg Heil.
Yeah, I love that dude.
I know this guy, Heather Slauson. Hey, look who it is.
Mhm.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Welcome. Let me see. Marianne.
That's
welcome
my
to
wife.
My world.
Aw.
It's your wife?
Yeah, you want to tell her about the coffee thing I said? Go ahead. It's okay. Snitch me out.
What coffee thing?
He likes his
Hey,
coffee.
honey, how do I like my coffee? Like I like my women. How is that? Caramel colored, really sweet.
I'm not getting
And
you
you
in
said
trouble.
you were going to snitch me out to my wife.
I'm not getting you in trouble.
You're going to make me snitch myself out.
Yep.
You just did.
That's all right. She's heard. Please, she's heard worse.
Plausible deniability.
Right.
Laughing Jester.
Oh yeah, that dude can craft some mini terrain and stuff. That dude can craft. Oh,
Right
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Do you have a business site? Like, let us know, because I definitely, if it would help enhance the game, I'm
Yeah.
for it. I'll buy some stuff. Yeah, right on. I don't know why my chat isn't going any lower, but yeah, there's like a bunch of people. Thanks for commenting and stuff on the YouTube and also on the Facebook. Haha.
The Book of Faces.
The Book of
The
Faces.
Book of Faces. I had that in one of my
John
D&D
Cena.
campaigns.
What?
This guy found a book, and it was a Book of Faces.
I believe that is a literal translation to exactly what it is that you're talking about. A book with peeled off faces, which means that there are skulls. Yeah, you didn't think of it that way?
They don't really have a lot of definition after they've been peeled off,
No,
No,
you need
they
the bone
don't.
structure for
You
it.
got to have the bone structure.
Yeah.
but you could use them like in The Walking Dead or something.
You could.
Yes.
Is that your best
think
zombie?
No.
They
That's a
did do
horrible
that
zombie.
in The Walking Dead, though.
They did.
did.
It was the governor.
The Whisperers. or
yeah.
whatever it was.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the governor had the closet.
You know,
of all the skulls.
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of things. I'm terrible. I'm just a very literal person. I'll sit and pick things apart. Now, don't get me wrong. The Walking Dead was
Wong?
great.
Well,
He's Wong.
Do not start that because I will point out everything that you say that
Lord
is
Jesus in
inaccurate.
heaven.
You do not want to start that game with me.
Uh-oh.
Don't do it.
Okay.
You've
It's
been
bad.
told.
It's bad. It's terrible.
Told.
Walking Dead.
Yes. I often see these issues are like, oh, here comes this horde of zombies. They're going to break down the walls. And then yet in other episodes, they're like, hey, we're driving this car to lead the horde of zombies away and make noise. Like, okay, well, why don't you do that now? Oh, because it won't progress the storyline. I get it.
No.
Okay, cool. Hey, we figured out if we cover ourselves in zombie nastiness, they don't even look at us.
Do you
Like,
know
you guys
what
don't even have running
that's-
water.
They all. But who really? Okay, let's say it breaks out right now while we're in studio.
Yep.
It happens out there, right?
Yep.
Hey, how many of us are really? You know, you die first, right? How many of us? Right? How many of us? Ooh, did I go there?
Holy shit.
You
You know you
did.
die first. Bro.
What? No, because you're behind the desk. So anyway, how many of us are really going to be willing to cover ourselves in blood and gore?
100%.
Well, yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
I do that at work every day.
Yeah, she does it to
You
get
do.
paid.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah,
I
100%.
go digging.
Like,
in,
listen,
so-
here's the thing. If I figured out that was the thing, like, okay, we spend all this time staying away from hordes of zombies, getting caught up in them, barely surviving, and then I figure out that all I have to do is kill one of them, rip their carcass open, and wipe it all over me. That is what I'm doing from now on.
Bet.
Done. And I'm going to go out and explore the entire area and
Right.
gather up all the supplies,
Like Bill
walking
Murray.
by them like I'm whistling
Right.
Dixie. Like,
Walking by them eating a turkey leg.
right, exactly. I'd be like,
A
hey,
cooked
buddy, what's
turkey.
up? You know?
A bloody, disgusting turkey.
Whatever.
No, it'll be cooked. It'll be cooked. I'll just
Really?
be bloody and disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna take
that's
time
what
to
I'm.
cook it.
And then if
I'm
I
gonna be covered
Okay,
in blood.
yes,
You're not
you're
eat
going
me.
to cook it, but do you realize how much blood and gore is going to get on it?
It'll be fine.
Okay.
and you find out very
It burns off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like developing an immunity. Like if
Right.
you get it, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and then you find out very early on that they're attracted to noise, and so every
Mhm.
time you've got this massive flowing horde of zombies coming up to your compound that you've made,
Just go buy a whole bunch of like alarm clocks and set them off and just throw them.
you don't have to. You don't
like
have
a
to do that.
grenade.
The whole world is at your disposal.
Right.
Obviously, they figured out solar power, so you run a bunch of large gauge speaker wire all the way the heck out away from your compound, and you hit play, and then the zombies are like,
Right.
and they move away.
And
ACDC.
then
Done.
Boo, boo, boo. There you are.
Yeah, like no problems at all. The only thing that you have to worry about in a world of the dead or a world of the world
It's
has
people.
ended is
Or the
people.
living. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
the living.
And there are freedom seeds for that.
What?
There are freedom seeds for that.
I
Freedom
don't understand that
seeds.
statement.
Freedom seeds.
Oh,
seeds?
wow.
seeds.
But here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you kneecap somebody to avoid being caught by a
Yes.
horde?
For
Yeah,
sure.
You just got to be faster
Yes.
than the slowest person.
Literally,
right.
yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't leave my people behind, but
Oh,
I
no.
would do some crazy stuff to
But
not die.
would you reevaluate who your people are?
Yes.
One hundo.
Mhm.
Like hear me out on this. I'm running people over.
Mhm.
Like the movie This Is the End,
Mm-hmm.
where the rapture happens, and
Yes.
it's like all the celebrities are like, "Oh, hey, yeah." And James Franco, he's like, "Ah, screw you guys," and then he ends up
Mhm.
dropping because he was, a jerk.
Right.
So, But yeah, there was one scene where I think Rihanna was like in a pit like early on in the movie, and is like, "Help me out." He's like, "Oh no, you're already gone." And it's like, I could reach down and save you, but nah.
Laughing Jester says, then they broke the horde up and the wire gets jacked up. Yeah, that's called redundancy. You have more than one set of wires. I'm an engineer, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
If I have the whole world at my disposal, we are going to have the most epic secured compound that you can imagine. We're not building walls out of stupid wood or anything. The walls are going to be great. I'm telling you, people are saying. And unfortunately, we can't make Mexico.
It's going to be huge.
We can't make Mexico pay for it because they don't exist anymore. But
that's where they're coming from.
They're coming right across. I'm telling you, Biden's just sitting there, Sleepy Joe, just sitting there doing nothing. No, like seriously, we're gonna weld some stuff together, bro. We're gonna have an epic compound.
You're gonna find the people who are like the most skilled with whatever you need them to be.
First of all, why are you finding them then? You better know.
No,
them
I'm
now.
saying like you already know them. You're gonna find them and like bring them into
Well, I have that list.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest with you, like, so what Negan started with their compound
He was actually a good guy.
was a great thing. And unfortunately, during the entire situation, you are going to have some no mercy, because if you're always like, oh, we're super merciful and I'll let you go and I forgive you, they're going to come back.
I question Shane. I question that
Oh,
statement.
Shane, bro.
Negan didn't do anything wrong.
I question
Rick's group attacked Negan's group first.
Yes.
Right.
Negan's group.
If you started the show at that season,
Yeah.
Rick's group is the bad guys.
Yes, they are.
Because we're just going to preemptively strike. Like, why?
Now go back to Shane because we're curious.
Both of you guys.
What did I got?
Shane's a good guy.
Both of you guys.
Shane was a psychopath.
With his best friend's wife.
Well,
homeboy knocked up his best friend's
she thought he
wife.
was dead.
No, she was.
Yep. She thought
they just kept it going after.
He left Rick behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A whole asshole.
Wow.
Excuse my language, but I mean, he locked the door behind him, but he was like,
here's the thing though, if you knew that
you can't lock hospital doors, first of all.
If you knew that your best cop buddy was like, I've secured him in this room, but I got to get out of this hospital because crap has gone down, and you get out, and wouldn't you be like, I need to go back because he was under whatever was keeping him unconscious.
I'm going to take care of his wife and son.
Now I get to sleep with his wife.
Take care of his wife.
He's taking care of the wife.
Obviously.
How was Shane a good guy?
And then he
made some questionable decisions. Okay, and then he was ahead of the curve. Okay?
Brian, that's like being like, Hitler was a pretty good leader.
He was a great leader. He did some really up things.
He was a great manipulator.
Yeah.
If you look at manipulation for the sake of manipulation, it's just
necessarily a bad thing.
It is the ability to just.
It's how you use it.
Yes. For example, when you go to the College of Eloquence and you realize I can't roll anything under a nat 17. And then you try to talk the bad guy out of that. Didn't go well the first time for me. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna. Make that
the jester says Rick in season 1 left a guy on the roof handcuffed to a pipe.
That's true.
You know what? But that guy, dude was an a-hole.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was Merle. Yes. Yeah, Merle was a
Merle.
And then he didn't tell Daryl. But it's a whole
thing.
thing.
You know what though? At the end,
if I left your brother handcuffed to a roof, I ain't telling you either.
Listen,
you know,
Steve Rogers knew that his best friend Bucky
Daryl was pissed, but you could tell Daryl knew.
Daryl
like, well,
Merle.
He was
like, you know what?
I didn't know my brother.
Kind of he's like,
yeah.
I've known him for all my life.
Merle
had a redemption arc.
He did.
He did.
With one hand.
And then he died.
That made me sad.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's season 2.
If you ain't seen it by now, you ain't going to.
Are you guys still watching? Is it? First of all, is the show still going on?
It's done.
There's like a spin-off. It's like The Ones Who Live or something like that.
I've already watched all of
them.
them.
Had like
there's
5
several,
spin-offs.
but I haven't seen it.
There's a Daryl Dixon spin-off.
Yeah, there's the Daryl Dixon.
I haven't
There's
seen
the
that
Rick
one.
Grimes spin-off.
There's a Fear the
there
Walking
was a
Dead.
teenager spin-off.
Yeah.
That was like 3 seasons long.
I remember Beware the Walking Dead.
There was that spin-off that had Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that's like that was how things started.
Well, at the end of The Walking Dead, several of the key characters are like, we out.
Right.
And they go do their own thing. And so it just leaves it open for that.
Yeah.
The end of The Walking Dead, spoilers if you haven't watched it, and it'll ruin
It's
it for
kind
you.
of
but, like,
anticlimactic.
it really is, because they finalize it, but then it's like, okay, now we're in this safe haven, and
Yeah.
all is
But
well.
that's how the graphic novel ended too.
Yeah.
The graphic novel ended with one-eyed Carl telling his daughter how like he survived.
Yes.
Which, by the way,
Plot twist.
they screwed up by killing the kid off.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they
Yeah.
killed him off.
Yeah.
You know why they did it? Shock
He wanted
value.
more money.
Shock value.
Oh,
So
you want to shock the
But
world?
they
So
did
check
a lot
it. Kill
of
off
things on that
Daryl.
show for shock
Right.
value that
Oh,
we're not a
kill
part
Daryl.
of.
if they had killed Daryl,
Sorry, guys.
it would have been game over.
No,
Like,
the
that would've-
amount of women that love Daryl. No, you
Daryl,
screwed up.
I remember.
Yeah, he was not a character that lasted till the end.
Daryl.
I thought
No,
so.
Daryl. No,
No,
they did
Daryl
because they had a spinoff.
No,
with
no,
him.
no. I'm saying like in the
book.
He
Yeah.
was
No,
not
he
in the
wasn't
graphic
even in-
novel.
he wasn't
He
even
was
in the
not
graphic
even in it.
novel,
Nope.
Yeah,
He was for TV only.
yeah. And they were like, they better not kill him. I'm like, but he wasn't.
If they killed
Well,
Daryl, we
who are
all
you? What are you
riot.
Riot.
doing?
What am I doing? I'm gonna show you the picture of me with
Oh, here we go. Name
Yeah.
drop.
Norman Reedus.
Norman
Name
Reedus.
drop.
I've never shown you this picture.
You know what? We
No,
need
here
like
we
a little
go.
segment for Brian.
We
And
just-
now it's time for a name drop.
Name drop.
Name drop. Yeah.
We need a soundboard.
My best
literally.
friend, from Nolans, does the same thing to me. He's been in a couple movies. And
Oh.
he's constantly name dropping. He was in The Purge.
Mm.
I've never seen it,
You didn't miss much.
but I have heard the siren.
And he's been in
Oh.
he was in a USA the Claws.
Have not seen.
It was
not
about
familiar.
women. It was about women vixens or whatever. But he was in that.
Maybe I need to
and-
watch that.
All right, Brian.
Here you go. So this is me with Stephen Ogg. We can't see that, can we?
No.
Mm-mm.
We need a soundboard because not only do we need that little jangle
Yeah.
for the name drop, but like you've said John Cena 2 episodes in a row. And
Did
I'm
I?
just, yes.
And I said John Cena today.
yeah.
So
I need that because I totally would have.
Whoa, you didn't tell
And
me
his
there were
name
shower
is John
pics on
Cena.
Those are the. Yeah, I think if you go back one, it's me and Norman Reedus.
I went forward.
Oh,
There
go
are
go
things
the
I
other
didn't
way.
want to see.
What do you mean? I don't have those
swipe
pictures
left,
in my
swipe
phone.
left.
Scarred for life.
No.
Oh man, I am very much looking forward. Yeah, did you see it?
Yes.
So he's a
Wait, I want to see.
You want to see it? Okay. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, wait. Don't delete photo. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Marianne brought up that Carl made.
That would be terrible.
Marianne brought up that Carl made Lily look at the flowers and shot her.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
so
was a
jelly
thing.
pants.
Yeah. In the
Oh.
graphic novel, it was Carl who shot the little girl.
Really?
Yeah, in the graphic novel, it was
Oh.
Carl.
What am I watching?
Oh, that video is. Oh, that's Lupita Nyong'o and the woman who plays Michonne. Yeah.
Was
Is
it a
she-
convention?
No. She wrote a show on Broadway.
Oh,
It was
okay.
called Eclipse, and in it, it was. I don't know if you remember Joseph Kony from a few years ago. Make Kony famous. So he had something called the Lord's Army, and it had nothing to do with Christianity. He was basically traipsing through Congo and different African nations, and he was legitimately like snatching kids and making them unalive their parents and then join the army because
Dang.
they got to run around and so it was like that's what he was doing with them. And it was a matter of like, we got to get rid of this guy. But the guy here in America who was kind of pushing that campaign, it eventually fizzled out because it turns out that he wasn't as righteous as he was supposed to be.
How'd
I
you
guess.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm. Like I think it's really interesting. Like when we kind of when somebody takes up a mantle for something really powerful, you know, it's like, oh, like Elliot Spitzer, he was supposed to be Wall Street's White Knight, and you know he abused funds, campaign funds, and was messing around with all these other women because you know.
I mean,
that-
come on, what president
That
hasn't?
joke is sitting right on my tongue. It's because his wife was a Spitzer, not a swallower.
Oh my!
Anyway.
Wow.
This whole
No.
podcast has
It's
been
terrible.
one
Wow.
HR.
We
This
need to go back.
episode is so done.
We need to at least drop a PG-13 on this.
Right.
Oh man.
Man.
My mom
Or
is
a
watching
or
this.
a not safe
And
No,
for
Anyway.
your
work.
mother was watching this.
No, she probably still is. Yeah.
She's aware.
Blame it on me.
She knows it's not you. Look, when I moved out here next month, the 15th of next month makes 8 years that I moved here.
Okay.
Cool. My first summer, I started driving Uber and I got this guy in my car and he was like covered in glitter. It was like June and he was really excited. He was like, so where are you from? I'm like, oh, Brooklyn, New York. He's like, oh, that's so cool. So you've never had a summer here? No. Oh, so you don't know about the swamp ass. I'm like, what's that? And he was very candid. He was like, it's when the sweat on your back pulls up and rolls into your crack. And I was like, oh man, that sounds awful.
Yes.
So I'm sitting outside the Home Depot in South City, and there's a Sonic, which we don't have Sonics in New York. So I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to have Sonic for lunch. It's August.
No.
It is 104 degrees outside, and I feel like a gnat or a bug trying to get into my crack. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
It wasn't a gnat or a, yeah.
And it happened again. And I'm like, what? Oh, no. So I call my mom, and my mom at this point had literally just had like back surgery, neck surgery. She had spinal stenosis. So they took a vertebrae or something, and they replaced it, a disc, and they replaced it with a cushion so that she could, and immediately her hand, she had difficulty walking, but it was like, okay, cool. So I call my mom, I'm walking back from my lunch break, and like, hey mom, I just had the weirdest phenomenon. And I didn't know all of the things that were happening on the other side of the phone until way later. So, I'm like, yeah, I just had this weird phenomenon. And I tell her exactly what just happened, same way I told you. And then I hear my cousin, Kim, she's 3 days older than me. She was, helping my mom out. And she goes, hey, Brian. And I'm like, Kim? Hey, what's up? And she's like, yeah, so we're in a store and you're on speaker.
Oh, boy.
I am not the guy you put on speaker anywhere in public.
Yeah.
Anywhere at all.
No, not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. It's a hell of a phenomenon. Yeah. So so that happened, and that was when I learned what swamp ass was. So
Yeah, it's a thing.
Aw.
and now you know.
Welcome to St. Louis.
Right.
The more you
8 years
know.
later,
Right.
it's still a thing. Yes, Stephen Ogg from GTA 5. Yeah, I don't know. How do we get these photos up? Can we get photos up?
You have to
Just-
just send it, and then I have to log into the
Okay.
Facebook.
I'm gonna
and-
send it to you.
Of course you are.
Uh-huh. I mean, who would I send it to? Do I just like send it to the
You
live
could-
chat?
You could send it to yourself. Aren't you logged into the? You're not logged into the thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll
You
send
have
it to you.
It to me then. Jesus.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is always a lot of fun for me
I
because there are
thoroughly enjoy the mild inconveniences to Bill because
Yeah.
so let me tell you
just
guys,
because of their response.
Let me tell you
because
guys.
of anything else.
I was on my way here, and the Salisbury Bridge, the bridge on Salisbury, is it was shut down because it's 2 lanes. The McKinley Bridge is like 2 lanes, and the entire thing is just red and blue lights. I'm like, I don't think we can. Okay, coming in from St. Louis, it is what it is. So flip around, go back. I catch the Stan Musial Bridge. Great. I get here. Something that I tend to do on a regular basis is I will make coffee-based drinks for my guests. That's why Seth has a very, very, very vanilla, French vanilla coffee, like a latte. And Ashley over here, she has a very, very, very sugar-free vanilla caramel. Anyway, her latte is, and I think I just did vanilla.
Mine's
'Cause
gone. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mine's gone too.
What's
mine is as well.
weird.
It's-
I mean, great service, horrible refills.
Right.
Oh, wait, let me leave You guys take over the conversation.
Let me
I'll be right
just
back.
discuss the portions.
Didn't we do that before he got here?
We really did, and
we
I
had a great
we
conversation,
sure
didn't we?
did. We bonded.
Yeah.
It's connection.
I'm
Ever?
gonna send the second picture.
Oh, there's a second picture.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
what?
me and
Wait.
Norman Reedus.
Oh, okay. I was like, is it the one he swiped right on?
To my cousin Denise, what up, yo? She's watching now.
Hi,
Anyway,
Denise.
so
D
So,
nice.
D nice,
H
D nice,
Is there a balake?
Balake, are you watching?
Blake.
Don't you ever say.
Blake.
He was so extra in that.
I
I
love
that.
him. Yes.
What's really funny is he's
You know, his wife is a dialect coach, which is why he can, like, he's just so good at all of the dialects and all of the
Really?
different accents.
Sense.
Yes.
that
His
makes a
wife
lot
is
of
a
sense.
dialect
That
coach.
tracks.
Yes, it really does. I love him.
My favorite dialect, period, any movie, Gambit from Wolverine and Deadpool.
Oh, you gotta love that Louisiana.
He
draw.
went
Oh my
so
God.
far into the
That
Cajun,
French-
and Deadpool looks at him and he's like, "You want to dial it back a bit? Like we're missing a lot of really important exposition."
So, Brian, I'm not kidding you. Okay. So, my best friend lives down in Nolens, right? Okay. And
Oh,
the
let me get my
first
picture of
time,
Ryan Reynolds.
the
Hold on.
first
Oh
time,
my
of course.
God.
No, it's okay because
It's
He ha-
time for a name drop.
because he's done Ryan Reynolds to me before too. He's like, "Oh, look at who I was on a plane with." I'm like, "Shut up."
I actually have not met him.
I
He
used
also,
the same bathroom as this guy one time.
yeah, the guy that was in.
Yeah.
See, I'm horrible with names and everything, but
The guy who was in.
yeah, it was
That
one
guy
of the
with the
Marvel
face.
movies with
Yeah.
With the
with
face.
With the
Rocket.
face.
He does
Oh,
that one
Bradley
thing.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He also starred in
Chris.
another movie.
Chris.
Mhm.
Yeah,
With
him.
the stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
and the
guy.
Oh,
things.
Lord
Yeah.
have mercy.
Exactly. Continue to make fun of Bill not being able to talk. So since Bill made fun of me. So
I'm good with it.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
He's in the bathroom with Peter Quill.
Okay.
You were saying your friend was.
Yeah. Oh, so
Star-Lord.
anyway,
Yeah.
his one son, he has twin boys. And when I first met them, they're his stepsons. But when I first met them, they'd moved up here after Katrina. And it was like late August when we moved them up here. And they're in the back seat. And his one son starts talking to me. And I literally look at him and I'm like, Bobby, what the hell did your son just say? He sounded like the defensive coordinator from Waterboy.
Oh boy.
I'm here for it.
I mean what do you say?
Exactly.
That's
He
when you
said- he
just
said he wants to know when we
Smile
can have a
or not.
snowball fight. What?
smile.
It's
and-
August. Scoop it off your back.
Serious. I was like,
Like, you just-
what?
what was that
What? They
last
want to know
part?
when we can go have a snowball fight. Do you see what it's going?
Could
December,
you imagine,
son. December.
Could you imagine, legitimately, if everyone had subtitles, what that would look like?
Oh boy.
That'd be awesome.
Well, does
It's like
it
they just-
also subtitle your inner monologue too?
No, no, no.
Because-
Ooh,
Nay,
no,
no. Don't do that.
We
no.
do not need to see what
Because
it is.
there's
No.
a lot of intrusive thoughts that go through this brain, and
Yes.
it's a dark,
Yes.
scary place.
Yes.
Dark,
Oh boy.
inappropriate.
Or
scary
translators, like when those old Southern grandmas are like, "Oh, bless their heart."
Yeah.
place. No, like the anger
There's like
translator,
8
like Key and
different-
Peele.
There's 8 different translations for bless your heart.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
depends on the tone
Most of the time, it's
inflection.
you stupid son of a.
Yeah, oh, for
Right.
real.
Yep.
Oh, bless your heart.
Do you think those translator earbuds really work?
I believe they do. My friend Maria has them, and she uses them to listen to audiobooks while she does dishes and stuff. And it's like, but nobody in East St. Louis speaks anything other than East St. Louis English. So
Nail salons?
No, we have Hispanic people in East St. Louis.
Really?
Yes.
What about the
I
nail
met-
salons?
there are no nail salons in East St. Louis. There are hardly any businesses in East St. Louis, bro.
Did you know that one guy owns like 80% of East St. Louis?
Yes. He owns the majority of the
Mhm.
abandoned buildings and in North County as well.
Is his last name Cronky?
So my understanding is it's 3 guys they have the corporation that owns the buildings. And the whole point is to keep them busted and dilapidated so that one of two things will happen. Either the government will eventually pay market value for them because they bought them at a very steep discount, or a private developer will buy them all up above market value and they make out like bandits anyway.
Either way, they win.
Yeah.
It's actually SOP for low income, horrible development areas. I mean, up there near Winfield and everything else, it's the same situation. All the river flats that are floodplains and everything, it's the same type of situation. You get rich developers who buy it all out because they know that someday
it's an investment.
I like work in Cahokia Heights, which is like East St. Louis. Everything's like unincorporated over there. And just the amount of, I mean, it's such an impoverished community. And it just, I didn't know that somebody owned like 80%. Like, I don't know, so a lot of the things that I find out from my patients. So the fact that I know that it's such an impoverished community, and to know that like that's.
And why would you make any improvements? Because the minute that you do, your taxes go up.
Right.
Yep.
History lesson.
It's like that in every single major metropolitan area.
Yep.
History lesson. Do you know how things got to the way they are in East St. Louis and North County?
No, why? Tell me.
I wish we had seen the expression on her face when that happened. It was like, so it has to do with the arch. So, and I learned this by going to the History Museum. That's when I first learned about the Green Book. This was like 9 years ago before I moved out here. So I'm at the museum and they're talking about like, there's an actual kind of, it's almost like a weird slideshow, and you can kind of move the dial and it shows you what St. Louis looked like from, I want to say maybe like the late 1800s to I think probably about 2015. And downtown where the arch is, there used to be a bunch of communities, a bunch of neighborhoods, and there were factories. And a lot of the people who lived in those neighborhoods and worked in those factories were Black people. So eminent domain, we're going to make this beautiful gateway to the west. Let's level all of the communities. And once first they destroyed the factories, so you couldn't work anywhere. Well, now you can't work, you got to move. Yep. We're not selling, you're not buying the house from you, we're just going to take it from you. So once that was taken, people went where they needed to go. They went across the river into East St. Louis, and they went north into North County. And this is how those neighborhoods like developed. Now, East St. Louis.
I like how you say developed, but it wasn't developed. Like it was devalued.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, I was going with like devolve.
That's how I took it. Was that
that was the whole point.
The emphasis that you put.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you said developed.
That's why I said it the way that I said it.
Yeah.
So East St. Louis, if you drive through it even now, there are plenty of businesses that have just been abandoned. And there was a very large white,
it's just not sustainable.
Right. There was a large white community that was there, and they were like, oh no, the Negroes are coming. Maybe they didn't use that specific word, something adjacent to it, but they took off to Edwardsville and Collinsville, which is how Edwardsville and Collinsville kind of got founded and built up into a very strong, and the businesses went with them.
Yep.
So when you don't have businesses in a community, there's no taxable income.
Yep.
The people who are being taxed don't have jobs because the job was on the other side of the river, but that job is no longer there. So it's like, oh, how do we? And there's a very strict time limit when that the government can step in and like kind of salvage stuff.
Yep.
And that time limit is long gone.
Look at Detroit. Same thing happened in Motor City. Look at LA. Same thing happened in LA. I mean, it's everywhere. It's what
in Bushwick in New York. Bushwick, East New York, there are all these neighborhoods that are just, and now what has happened is like, when I first moved out here, it was like stepping into a time warp. I looked at these neighborhoods and people said, oh, stay away from the east side, stay away from the north side, don't go there. And I'm like, I drove through and I'm like, wait, this reminds me of
just poor area.
This reminds me of my neighborhood in the 80s. So it's like, oh, they're just like 30, 40 years behind. Well, in 30 or 40 years, we've gone from rotary phones to corded phones with the really long cords to cordless phones to cellular phones to I can search the internet with this thing. Like that has all happened in the course of 40 years. That's kind of wild. We've gone from big rooms with computers and lots of stuff to I can get online with my laptop. Like we've come so far technologically speaking, and the technology is there, but the neighborhoods themselves haven't really gotten anywhere. In the Orr Weathers in East St. Louis, it's on Missouri Avenue. There is an apartment building that used to house a lot of people. It was ELSHA, so East St. Louis Housing Authority. They had to close that building because they didn't have enough money to fix the elevator. What?
Well, that's what happens to cities. So it's really annoying, and especially to watch it happen over and over again. And I don't want to dive too deeply into politics here, but you can literally watch a city try to do all these initiatives that other people have tried and failed at, or have been proven time and time again that they don't work. And they run this game until the city is so far in debt or so out of money that there's literally nothing that they can do. Done. Like they can barely afford and sometimes don't even fill the potholes.
Yep.
Because there's just no money. And at that point, unless external investors come in and do something, nothing is ever going to happen.
But then those external investors will come in and see how dilapidated the city is, or how in just disrepair. Then they're not going to want to invest in that. And that's what's so frustrating.
But
I mean, like,
right.
But they
to redevelop.
They could.
And
but a lot of investors you'll see are like out of state investors, or they're out of, like they want to invest in something and not have to like make sure that anything's done with it.
Well, and they've got the perfect situation in East St. Louis because now they can buy this property. The building sits there and literally falls apart. I mean, bricks on the sidewalk falling apart, and the city can't afford to tear it down.
Yeah, that costs money. Which brings me to, it's 8:32. We got to wrap this up. The master plan. This was something that I kind of devised over the last few years, and I would love to see it happen. And I think I might be the guy to give this a shot. And I understand when you start doing an initiative like what I'm about to talk about, there are plenty of politicians who stick their hands out and say, I will vote for this. You just got to give me money. And for that, 12 minutes from here, there's a hog farm. Anyway, moving forward.
Wow.
Gosh.
The city development
There's
and everything
so
now.
much talk of like
Taking it back to what you and I are talked about. Hey, when you were developing the D&D world, hey, when you were developing, because I'll always bring it back. Hey, when you were developing a world, a city, a campaign, hey, you need to think real world situations. Hey, when you look at a city like Waterdeep, hey, Waterdeep has this area that is just impoverished, and any major city will. So when you develop your cities in D&D, no matter what the game is, whether it's D&D or Star Frontiers, or if you want to go, futuristic, whatever it is, you got to include what's realistic,
right? So
that people believe that what they're playing is real.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to end this on some hope. Here goes. Private investor walks into East St. Louis. Okay. They've got several, maybe tens of millions of dollars. And the idea is we are going to revitalize this community. So you put out an order. You hire master technicians, master carpenters, master electricians, master tradespeople. Let's just go that. Cover all the bases. Because I don't know how to build a house. But anyway, these guys do. Okay, master plumbers, etc. You get these people and you say, I'm going to pay you handsomely. What I need from you is to train the people in this community. This does a couple of things. The first thing that it does is it legitimately builds the community. Okay. When the community is built by external forces, it's called gentrification. And this creates a very sour taste for the residents who were there, largely because I had nothing to do with this. So I'm not like, why should I care? But if you use people who are in the community to build the community, what tends to happen is the car that they're purchasing with the money that they earned to build that building, hey, dad put the doors in on that building. There's a sense of pride in that building. If anybody screws with that building, I'm going to drop the people's elbow on you. Like, you can't do that. Okay. In addition to that, you teach people an actual craft, a skill, a trade, and they can go anywhere with that trade and start as a journeyman, as an apprentice. They kind of make their way, and at some point, if they decide to, they can become a master technician in that craft as well. So the problem, of course, is, hey, I'll push this initiative through. I'll let you buy that building. I'll put you in position to, talk to the people who want to sell the building. But, I want a little bit of money to do that. 50 grand. That's all I'm asking for. 50 grand. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Cool. Let's go. Like, and I don't advocate violence usually, but in this case, I feel like, considering that you're talking about being, you're kind of training a new wave of humanity, because at some point, AI, as great as it is, it's going to cost too much power. The machines are going to become sentient. We're going to be living in the Matrix or the Terminator world. I hear they're the same ones. And you're going to need people who are going to be able to build infrastructure. And with the way that schools have gone into, you got to go to school, you've got to get a degree in this. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great and all, but like, I got my degree and there are no jobs because the market is saturated. And I work at Starbucks. No slight against Starbucks, but it's like, I'm not even remotely in my field. So like, oof, where with 25% more effort, that oof could become a roof and you could become a roofer.
Oh my gosh.
You're proud of yourself for that one.
I am proud of myself.
Hey, all of this, and you still haven't called for those pictures to be put on screen.
Oh, can you put those pictures on
Yeah,
screen?
which one? Which one?
Let's go Stephen Ogg first. I remember when this happened. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. We were outside of, let's see, Eclipse was at what theater? The Golden Theater? Yeah, she put her head down. Oh, yeah, that was outside the Golden Theater. Walking into that theater was actually really funny because you had an alleyway that led to the Golden Theater, the Schubert Theater, and the Majestic Theater. The Majestic is where Phantom played for 35 years. And I remember one time I was on my way into the Golden Theater to I was bartending on Broadway, and I'm walking in and I see this group of guys. There are 3 or 4 guys. They're standing in the middle of the entire alley. And I'm like, yo, I really want to tell them like they need to move, because they're in the middle of the alley. They're taking up the whole alley. And I walk up and I say, excuse me. And it's Matthew Broderick.
Never heard of him.
Ferris Bueller's Day. I can't stand it.
I love the fact that you're telling that story, but you had to drop another name.
Hey, it be like that sometimes, bro.
Be like that.
What about that next image?
The next image is where is he? Yep, that is Norman Reedus from Boondock Saints, and he played Daryl Dixon in The Walking Dead. Interestingly enough, there are 2 Brians in this picture. Brian Pelicano. Hey, Brian. He's an actor from New York. He's actually in the background near that light. And I forget this woman's name. I don't remember her name, but I should text Brian and be like, hey, I just shouted you out on the podcast. Like, look in the 70-something minute. And you'll see it. But yeah, that was really cool. I remember because when you're bartending on Broadway, you never have to make a complicated drink because the drinks are just so damn expensive. It's like $5 for half a shot, $10 a full shot. Mm-hmm. And then you have to pay $5 for the cup.
What?
Yeah. So the first day this lady walked in and she said, and I asked this question during my interview, what if somebody wants a Long Island iced tea? Well, that's a $55 drink.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So it's triple sec vodka, and they start running through the list, and it's like, yeah, it's $10 for this shot, $10 for this shot, and then $5 for the cup. And I'm like, oh, so this lady walks in at intermission, and she's like, hey, yeah, can I get a Long Island iced tea? I was like, sure, I can make that for you. It'll be $55. She goes, how about just a rum and Coke? That's it. Single or double? Single, please. And I poured her a single. It was so watered down with Coke. But yeah, so he asked for a maker's neat, and I was well, he doesn't work for the company anymore, so I can say this. Dude, I know you're heavy-handed. Just pour, and I'll say that we spilled some. So he got like a 4-shot. Okay, it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, right? That's your single or double, right?
Right.
And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and they were like, "This is why we're short." I'm like, really? Yes, Brian, we're missing an entire bottle because you've been pouring upstairs by yourself. I'm like, well, who told you guys to leave me alone? I'll supervise. So then I had to work downstairs with everybody else. Now, hear me out. Nobody came for seconds, and my tips were always on point. Like, I made money, but I also cost them.
I know. I was gonna say, you were not making them money, though.
I made us money. Okay. Anywho.
Brian, what's your financial tip for the night?
Don't overpour.
Don't let Brian work at your bar.
Yeah.
Right.
The financial tip, term over whole life. Every time it beats it. Buy term, invest the difference. I've talked about it before. I didn't even get into yesterday's book club meeting that I went to. Katie Wheaton, where are you? Here we go. I got her business card. Yep, Katie, she helped me get involved in this book club. It was interesting because I was the only person of color, and I was also the only male. So yeah, we read Colton Gentry's third act, which was really cool. And we got a chance while we were doing our book club meeting, the author Google Meets in. And that was really cool.
Nice.
Jeff.
That's neat.
Oh, Jeff, I'm super sorry, man. Colton Gentry. Yeah, here we go. Jeff Zamer. He's done a lot of young adult stuff, and this was his first adult book, and it was really, really good.
They call that YA.
I'm aware of that.
Well,
I figured
you didn't seem hip at the moment.
Y'all want to see him back, don't
adult.
you? Y'all want to see him back. I know you want to see him back. You clamored about seeing her. She's here. Pain in my ass. Love it anyway.
Dang.
Oh my gosh. I so appreciate you guys coming to the show. Seriously, this made my I was gonna say my Sunday. No, it's Monday.
It is Monday.
It is Monday. Uh-huh.
I love you, Brian.
I love you too, Seth, man.
I've missed you, man.
Yeah, we definitely need to hang out and go get some drinks and do some meth.
Whoa.
I heard here in Granite City it's called crack on the street.
Unknown substance is what I said.
Unknown substance.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's definitely not
Disclaimer.
Walter White level.
No.
Oh, it's not blue?
Jokes.
No.
All jokes. All jokes.
I've been clean and sober since 97.
That's what's up. Next time you come through, we're going to talk about that if you'd like.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I actually wanted to touch on it, but we got into D&D and that was all good. So, yeah.
I feel like we touched on a lot of things.
Yes,
We
we
did.
did.
Yeah, it always happens.
So
It was
many,
awesome.
yeah. So
We
many
did
things.
not do the Macarena.
We did not. Hey,
No.
Macarena.
Actually,
I'm not
it starts-
allowed to dance.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started
Started in
all
the
weird.
middle. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That's the ADD. It's okay.
Started in the middle. Now we're here.
Blame it on the ADD.
Uh-huh.
I'm not allowed to sing either.
He's a worship pastor at his church.
No, I'm not.
I know. It was just a fun thing to say.
Good thing we don't have fact checkers.
Oh.
That's funny.
It's on Facebook. They don't fact check anything anyway.
They
No.
don't.
Once again,
Not
rest
anymore.
in peace, Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, this has been awesome.
Hasn't it?
It has.
It's
Guys,
always
it's been an
fun.
hour and a half.
Really.
We're gonna shut it down.
and
Oh,
I haven't gone
man.
to the bathroom once.
Yeah, wow.
That's amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had the bladder of a pregnant woman.
There it is.
Brian
Did you
just
take it
pisses
right
in
out
his
of
chair.
her or
Yes, I do.
Oh, my.
Oh, here we go again with the
Okay.
red rum.
I
You
carried it.
couldn't-
I carried it in my truck
Oh, that's
right
some
next to a
psycho-
placenta.
That's some
Okay.
psycho stuff.
now
right there.
that is useful.
sounds like
You
some
can fry it up.
cheap horror story
just-
It really
stuff.
does.
Eat
Yeah.
it straight. Like wolves, they eat their placentas.
I'm not a wolf.
No. But I've heard about the stem cell research we'll get into that another time. Listen, guys, any last words?
think
No,
we've said
I
it all.
have nothing.
I just want to apologize
Yeah.
For what?
to my mom.
Oh, is she watching?
I don't know. Probably not.
Hi, Nikki's mom.
Hey, my
Sir.
mom's what? No, my mom's dead.
What? Oh
No.
my God.
Wow.
I mean, she's watching from a different plane. It's fine.
I couldn't help. My daughter would love me for that joke.
You've got to send. I sent you the link to the show.
Yeah.
Feel free. What do we got in comments? Anything?
There's just a lot.
A
here.
lot. This
A
is-
lot.
It's
Super.
a lot. You'd have to be. There's no way to interject things in the way that these conversations go on this show
I know
because it's just by the
You've got-
time
at
I
least
get
66% of us have ADD.
right
So
by the time I get to interjecting, that subject was like
4
5
minutes.
Yeah, it's
45 seconds ago.
done,
Yeah.
We're
and it's
3
over.
subjects in. Like,
right.
And if I said, "Hey, I made us money," people were like, "What are they talking about?" Yeah, no, it's just not. I'm sorry, folks. I like to read out the comments, but your host is ADHD and
like on so many levels.
Yeah.
It's great.
The Discord I hang out
Unmedicated.
and
in.
severely unmedicated.
Right.
No,
The Discord I hang out in, we have 2 different chats because of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We have the calm chat and then we have chaos chat.
Oh, really?
We
Yes.
need a
I've got to. I have you on Discord. Like we're gonna get it, guys.
we need a Discord for the show.
Yes,
do.
we do. We could have that up by next week.
We certainly could.
There's so many ideas.
Look at me showing up and growing you.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I'm down 12.
You got to
pounds
get
for the
them
year.
shirts, dude.
Yes, we're definitely gonna talk about that. It's gonna be awesome.
Right after we get the Emo's pizza. Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you guys for watching in the Metro this week. I would like to thank our guests. Hold it together, Brian. This is the closing of the show. Hold it together. Ashley Buckles, thank you so much for being here. You want to wave at the camera? Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's
Again.
always a pleasure. Seth Arnold, we definitely look forward to having you back,
What's
bro.
up? This is a blast.
Indeed. We have been in the Metro. Bill, awesome job again. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
He carried the show.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I have another
Frankly,
ER
nobody
nurse
does
that
it better.
listen, when I mentioned I was going to be on, she was like, "No way, in the Metro," and she's like in Columbia, dude, and she
Oh,
knows
wow.
about it. Yeah,
Really?
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
her call sign is Plague Walker.
Nice.
We
Wow.
apparently attract a certain type of crowd.
Clearly. And it's
Clearly.
growing
That's fine.
every single week. And we love that. We love you guys. We are in the Metro here in Studio B, 1406 Niedring House, just outside of the Garden Gate Tea Room, the Board Gamery, and the Downtown Diner. Also, next to us is Studio C, a private cinema area with 30 or so chairs.
Yep.
That you can watch a movie with your friends on a really big ass TV. It's awesome. Anyway, I am Brian with the Y, your favorite guy. You are awesome, amazing, and fantastic. And don't let anybody make you feel different. Have a great week.